the time we have, it is surely our duty to do all the good we can to all the people we can in all the ways we can. William Barclay said that. When I train kids, we have a statement that we use all the time. We say there's no swearing in the gym and there's no swearing during training because we don't want to downgrade anything, especially ourselves. But we also have a statement that if you say something negative about somebody else's effort or their work, we have the permission to say, is that what you want? Why? Because who's listening when you say something negative? And when you question somebody about, is that what you want? They will always say, no, I want this. But when we do what we are supposed to do, we should applaud it. When we don't do what we should do, we should make sure that we still applaud our failure. I'm Jungle Jim Hunter, and you're listening to 831 Living Your Best Life podcast, where we inspire participation, communicate precision, and empower performers to podium. And we hope you will tell everybody you know and anybody you meet and any relative you have to go to their favorite podcast provider or junglejimhunter.com, where you can find this podcast, or YouTube, and you can find it there as well. And subscribe. Click on download, click on like, rate and review it, and become an 831er. We call an 831er a first responder because, just like this podcast where we're going to focus on, is that what you want? It's a first response. Your first response should be to help yourself and anybody that happens to be listening, which in every case will be yourself. It's 8 days to the 16th Paralympic Games, and they're just around the corner, and I hope you will watch them and support those games as much as you did the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Well, answer this question with me, with the first answer that comes to your mind. My greatest asset is my blank. What would it be? What is your greatest asset? What do you bring to the table that really inspires and affects change? Now ask the same question about each person you work with or is on your team. And when I say your team, I don't mean necessarily a sports team. I'm talking about your family team. How many in your family, and what is their greatest asset? What do each of them bring to the table? And then go through where you work and the immediate team around you, the people you work with. And if you happen to be involved in sports or something else, well, think about those people. If you volunteer for something, what is their greatest asset? Ask them. Ask yourself. Their greatest asset is, and write it down. It won't take more than a minute to come up with the gifts and abilities for each of your teammates in all the different roles that you play and what they're expected to do and how they are supposed to play. It's your job to be the best version of you in your position that you can be. So take it a step further. Each team member comes with abilities brought to a fine polish and must come to the place where they are comfortable in their own skin. And if they are doing what is their greatest asset, they will be complementary to everything else you're doing. We are taught to exploit our competitors' weaknesses, so it is natural to seek to find the negative or weakness of others, and it's easier to see their weaknesses than our own. But if you think of your team and you think a negative thought, such as they're lazy or selfish or lack discipline, you're sabotaging your own efforts and your team and its chances to succeed as a team. A family gave me a lift to the repair shop to pick up my car after a game. Between discussions about his play and other teammates' names came up. We started to talk about the game and I told him what he did well and what he was doing well and how he did it, and then they carried on the conversation. I'm sure they must have thought I was deaf, because as they talked about members of his team, they agreed on the following statements. He's a puck hawk. He never passes. He's lazy. He'll never go anywhere. He gets more ice time because he's the coach's favorite. The coach likes him most. Let me ask you a question. Who's listening when you as a parent and a kid talk about your teammates that way? Who is listening when you say these things? You are. Why would you dwell on this and repeat it? You will never pull together if your focus is to judge your own teammates as harshly as that. Instead, see the good in them, see the best in them, see what they do right. If this is what you would say about them, what do you think they are saying about you? The etymology for the word selfishness means to create contentious strife. First-century writers used the word selfishness to describe a politician who procured office by illegal manipulation. Looking after yourself and your performance is proper life management. Looking after you with a self-preoccupation that hurts others is a divisive arrogance. What others do may be true, but even if it is, will it help you to review it? Absolutely not. You see, if you want the best team to be on, be the one that sees the best in others. What they do is what they do. What you do is what you do. And you can make all the difference if you will do the best for them, because it reflects who you are. Thank you for listening, and I hope you will have grown and will be living your best life with your team the next time we meet. My quote for the day: if you see the best in others, it's amazing how good you'll look.